Stacy Scott, and I'm here with Graham Wickham, President and CEO of Wickham Financial and Insurance Services, and we're back with our weekly wrap-up. Graham, we had a pretty good week last week. What can you tell us about it?
We really did have a pretty good pop last week. We saw the S&P and the Russell up about 1%. We saw the NASDAQ up about 2%. 9 of the 11 S&P sectors were also higher, led by communications, consumer discretionary. Crude oil even popped up about 5%. And gold continued its rally, up about 3%, because we continued to see a weaker dollar, maybe yields coming down on some bonds, kind of propping up that area a good bit. We did see some strong non-farm payrolls, though, of about 263,000. So that put a little bit of fear, because that was a bit hot and unexpected. So that put a little bit of fear on, maybe a little bit of a damper on the rally last week. You know, on Wednesday, Stacey, we also had Chairman Powell come out from the Federal Reserve. And he basically confirmed, at least our expectations, that their pace of rate hikes were possibly going to have to slow a bit. And I think that put some added enthusiasm into the market last week. If we look at gross domestic product, that still came out really strong for the third quarter, up about 2.9% from 2.6%. Now, a bit of that was because of a large trade deficit drop that we had, but we still saw the broader economy struggle a bit. So even though we had a good GDP, there still are some areas that are challenged, keeping that growth momentum down. So that's good and bad, right? Remember, for our listeners, we said bad news might be good news right now. So we're getting a little bit of that. Internationally, if we think about the Eurozone, inflation is still high, but maybe slightly moderated a little bit from November to about 10% year over year. Canada's gross domestic product, GDP, was flat for October. China, what a story over there. You know, we have a lot of riots going on because of the very restrictive COVID policy, that zero COVID policy. But we're having a lot of citizens rally and protest against. And I think the government is starting to loosen some of those restrictions up. And that's why we saw some really good rally in some of those Chinese stocks that trade on the U.S. stock exchange.
Okay, well, great.
Right.
But thanks so much for that information, and thanks to our viewers for joining us today. I just want to let you all know that we do have our January Retirement Planning Today classes in process. We're working on putting those together, and as you spend time with your friends and family over the next several weeks throughout the holidays, if someone that you know is at or near retirement age and could really benefit from this very A to Z informational educational class, please have them reach out to our office, and we would love to see them in class in January. I hope everybody has a great week, and we'll look forward to seeing you again next week. Have a good one.
Take care.